Hey, what's up, family? How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? I hope y'all all having a wonderful day. Something that came across my mind that I've wanted to speak about today. Um, just the subject that I've kind of wanted to talk about for a little minute now. A lot of people might not like what's about to come out of my mouth. I might get a lot of backlash for it, and if I don't, then that means y'all understand what I'm saying. But something I'm coming to realize a lot more of that's more alarming and disturbing. Black women or women of color are more susceptible to finding themselves to being baby mothers. We are living in an epidemic of baby mothers. It's so sad. And when I say it's sad, I mean it's sad in a way as they're not wives. They're not wife material. They are portraying and implementing the same structure that they've gotten from their mom. They talk to men or people the same way they were spoken to growing up. They treat their children the same way they were treated. So it's a repetitive cycle that has never been broken, that's not going to be broken. And it's diabolical to the upbringing of the children, because from the cycle that you were in when you grew up and then you move out of that cycle, you have your own life, you branch off and create your own where you have a man, but no matter what you do, you don't really actually internally self-heal, self-reflect. All you do is portray, and everything that you've grown up with comes out of you. And then it is reflected on the man that you're in a relationship with. You excuse me, you take the child away from the man. In certain instances, the child is taken away from the man, and then the child is spoken to the same way that you spoke to the man, not even understanding or internalizing. By doing self-reflection, this is the way that you were spoken to, and you don't break out of it. And what I mean by, women of color are just, they're just baby mothers. They're not wife material. What I mean by that is 13-year-olds still in 2024, 13-year-olds are pregnant. Tell me, how is this adding up? How is this making sense? How is this making sense? You know why it's not making any sense? Because there's no male role model. There's no positive male role models. There's no fathers. There's no grandfathers. There's no men that this woman is not going to be ashamed, feeling like, oh my God, I don't want to look like no whore. I don't want to be a hooker. But there's none of that. It's only competition, running around with wigs on your heads, eyelashes on. I don't want to get started. These little girls are dressing like grown women. Tell me, how does that help? How does it help? In other countries, it's not making any sense what's going on in this country. In other countries, the men get their and I'm not saying I condone it. They get their women from a very young age so they can raise them up how they want them to be. I'm starting to understand it more. I'm understanding it. I'm not saying that I condone it, because pedophilia is something that we have to, eradicate. But for the nurturing of the mind and the way that they're bringing up, the woman's mind to raise her how he wants her to be in his home, and, things like that, on those levels, you have to understand it, why they do things the way they do in their countries. In our country, you have these little girls that are dressing. These little girls look like grown women. They look like grown women. It's not making any sense to me. Who is letting this child come out of the house like this? Do you know that sex trafficking in children is $150 billion annually? That's how much they make. That's the industry for sex trafficking. $150 billion annually. Who's letting their child come outside of the house dressed like this? Who's doing this? You guys need to stop it. You guys need to stop it. The name brands, the materialistic fighting, the competition, it's not helping anyone get anywhere. You guys are not going anywhere fast, but towards a wall. Everyone is headed towards destruction. It's really sad. And, you know, it's just something that I wanted to talk about and touch on, because we're living in an epidemic of, you just see women with their mothers and no men, or women with their mothers and children. We're still living in slavery. It's just modernized. That's it. We're still living in slavery. Modern day slavery. And I don't mean by work. I mean, we are slaves mentally. A lot of people are mental slaves. The mental chains have never been broken. You guys are not taking the time to self-reflect and do what you need to do for yourself, to better yourself, your family, your lineage. Men, you got to do something better. Step it up to better yourself and your lineage. And don't just feel like because, you know, this woman is a dump somewhere you can just lay up and just dump in, and that's how you're going to let your offspring come into the world. No, sir. Be better. Do better. Strive for better. Because settling, what a lot of us are doing is settling. And it's also causing what's happening in this epidemic, because of the power structure that women hold, the power of the P. So women hold the power of the P and have been chasing behind them in ways for a power structure for control. But it's only control to compete against another woman. I don't understand it. We could all be rising up together. What is the point of the competition? You guys are not understanding. This is the way that the people who control, or the people that are in control, want you to act. Guys, look around you. Everything is in chaos.